Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Dark Souls 2. Send us. Directly at Castle, we want to go to King's Gate. Just like always, we need to have the King's Ring equipped. Get through the door. And you somehow got in here.
My journey is already complete. My name is Alot. The dragon gave me this name, for I was born with none. I was born of dragons, contrived by men. By ones who would cozen fate herself. They are the ones who created me. But they failed. I did not come out as intended. Fate would not be bested, and men were cursed once again. If you proceed, Nashandra will come after you, knowing that you will take the throne and link the fire. She covets the first flame and the great soul. Put Nashandra to rest.
And there you go. Throne of Want. A lot of dead people here. I'm guessing they all fell. I believe you can get the guy with the great sword to help you with this fight. It's actually 2 fights, though luckily you don't have to do both of them. You can just win one and then die and then do the second one. Which was, I guess, nice of it. Anyway. Oh, it's the head of Vingarl. I didn't know you can get him. And then there's Benhard of Jugo. Part of me wants to go ahead and get these guys and see what happens, but I think what will happen is I'll get these guys and then they'll be unsummoned. No, actually I don't know if they get unsummoned or not. But let's go, we'll just go solo for this first run. This will be the first fight, there'll be 2 bosses. That's about all I know about it. I do know a little bit more about the second fight, because that's essentially Nashandra herself. Well, that was bullshit. So, what you guys missed was I went into the boss fight, we started it. The way they work is there are 2, essentially a sword caster type character and a sword and board character that you have to defeat. And when you defeat one of them, the other will try to revive the other. So you kind of have to kill them both pretty quickly, or at least make sure they don't revive each other. When he knelt down to heal to revive the caster lady, the game started stuttering and was practically crashing at that point. And then it decided to it was crashing to the point where I could not control Alt-Delete. So it managed to recover. So the revive finished and whatever that happened. But while that was happening, my recording stopped, and my Control Alt Delete that I tried to do triggered then, and so I got killed while I was Control Alt Delete. Not that I was going to finish the fight anyway. So yeah, I died. The fight's not too bad. What I'm going to try to do is weaken them both and go from there. I mean, they don't have much. At least the Throne Watcher does not have very much health. Okay, I was trying to get my stuff, but that was apparently not in the cards. Now I can go get it. Oh, come on. Everyone runs faster than you. Anyway, I'm gonna soften up the Throne Watcher. They both have shields. Not that it matters to me, so I'll happily blast through them. I'm gonna soften up the Watcher. The Defender, I think, has more health. Now she enchanted her weapon, so it does more damage. Luckily I have high agility, so I can avoid most of these attacks. Alright, so now I just need to deal with the Defender and soften him up a bit. I don't know if they'll heal themselves, but I know they revive each other. Oh, come on. That weapon has such ridiculous reach. Dodge. Oh, and you fire bolts. Did not know that. Alright, I don't know how much footage I just lost, but I'm just gonna keep going, because really, screw this recording. What happened is the music started stuttering, and I took that as a bad sign, so I immediately cut the video, which ended up freezing things up, but managed to recover. I don't know how much footage I lost, but I've already explained the boss fight, so hopefully that part's okay. Anyway, I'm still trying to deal with this Defender. He's a freaking bastard. Ow. Mainly because the Watcher's always in the freaking way. There we go. Brings up his freaking shield too quick. I'm gonna run out of Estus Flask at this rate. Go ahead, do your attacks. I'll drink. Oh, thank you for not casting for no reason. So you've gone two-handed? Yes, you have. Good, I can deal with you now. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. By the way, you're next. There, both are dead. Get their souls. Now, 1 second. Alright, what I did is I just cut the video and restarted it. That way I might have these broken up into parts.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one with the dark.
Alright, final battle. So what she'll do is some of these things. These pretty much are just like the orbs, or the urns that would curse you in those, like in the forest. And she's got a death beam that I can apparently dodge through. And die. Soul of Nashandra. And that's it. So yeah, she attacks with her scythe, which I believe you can actually parry, of all things. She has that death beam, and that's about it. She'll constantly summon those freaking orb things every once in a while, and if you get near them, they will curse you. That's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this on before freaking anything else crashes.
You who link the fire. You who bear the curse. Once the fire is linked, souls will flourish anew, and all of this will play out again. It is your choice to embrace or renounce this. Great Sovereign, take your throne. What lies ahead, only you can see.
And there you go. That's the end. The reason I popped the human effigy was so I can actually look human in the cutscene. Otherwise, you would look like a hollow. So there you go. Tenshi's now like, I don't know, ruler of the universe or something. At this point, if you load your game, it will bring you back to Majula, and if you talk to... It's either the Emerald Warden or whatever, or if you go to the bonfire, I think you can start New Game Plus through that. So it doesn't automatically throw you into it. So if you have any final things you want to do in your current playthrough, you can do so before going to New Game Plus. As for actually recording New Game Plus, I will probably not do it, at least not anytime soon. Simply because I didn't have too many technical issues with recording this game, but the few issues I did have were pretty nasty, and I'm right now fearful of what I've lost so far on the recording of this session. I probably lost at least a little bit at the beginning of that boss fight, or maybe I don't know. So I broke it up into parts, so hopefully they'll fit together. I mean, what you guys see is what you guys are gonna get, unfortunately. If necessary, I can try to go and group with somebody, but I'll deal with that if that issue comes up. Anyway, overall, I like the game. It's very enjoyable. Some of the issues I had involved the controller. Some of the controls I really didn't like. I didn't like the fact that pressing a forward direction and then hitting a button will cause you to do things like leap attacks and guard breaks. I kind of wish there was a way to disable that, because the last thing I ever want to do with a chime or a staff is the guard break with it. I'd rather, cast spells with it. The jumping was kind of wonky, but and then the real annoying thing was definitely with the run button. For some reason, the running just has a lot of trouble activating for whatever reason. I mean, once you get it going, you can easily start it and stop it without any issue, and let your stamina recharge and all that. But like in combat, I don't know, there's usually like a humongous delay before it actually decides to start running. Gameplay wise, it was really good. I definitely like this a lot better than Dark Souls 1. It starts a lot better. For one thing, there's a little bit more like, I mean, all the games are generally vague in their stories, and usually it's stuff you have to find out on your own. But in Dark Souls 1, I really didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I didn't really feel very attached to the story, so I didn't really care. This one, I mean, it's still pretty vague, but at least it kind of gave you a direction of what the hell you're supposed to be doing. I mean, you're going after the Great Souls for whatever reason, so you can go see the king, and then once you get to see the king, you can go, you know, take care of the rest of the junk. The multiplayer was pretty decent. The latency is bad, though. I mean, the fact that you get hits from so far away is pretty bad, and they really need to fix that. The other issue with the PvP was with the Covenants. There's literally no reason to invade anyone, from what I can tell. There's nothing to gain from it, because the PvP Covenants are solely designed for dueling only, so there's no reason to ever invade anyone. The only time you ever invade anyone for a reason is as a Grey Phantom for the Bell Tower guys, which I definitely like the Bell Tower and the Rat King Covenants, especially the Rat King. I really like the little story you get from completing every rank for it. But the other ones, it kind of was just like, I mean, the Dragon Covenant has no real issues. I mean, you can do it PvE, you can do it through dueling, but the Blood Covenant you can only do through dueling, even though it should be an invasion PvP thing, which completely detracts from the Blue Sentinels, who are supposed to be the opposing force against them. And since there's no real opposing force or any real benefit for invading, it really hurts those Covenants, especially with the Way of the Blue. As far as any sort of the monsters, most of the monsters are pretty good. I think the mace wielding guys towards the end are very, very bad, because they swing so quick and they do so much damage. Also, all the attacks and towards the end stagger you as if you're trying to block with a shield for some reason, which is really, really bad as well, because you can't roll out of that. You're just stuck. The only other enemy I really didn't like for the most part was the trolls, because I couldn't read their hit boxes at all. I couldn't tell how far they were swinging. Like, their arms are actually really, really small, but they somehow can hit me from so far away, because it's just, I don't know, my depth perception is so messed up with them. As far as any, like, cheap deaths, I mean, every Dark Souls game has cheap deaths, so I don't know why anyone would complain about them at this point. I mean, at least in this game, there isn't a death you have to have. In Dark Souls 1, there's a part in the game you have to die in order to progress. Like, you can leave the fight, supposedly, which is kind of interesting, but besides that, you have to go into that fight and you have to die in order to progress. Which means you can technically lose your souls unless you have, which means you'll lose your souls in humanity in Dark Souls 1 unless you have that ring equipped, which, depending on how familiar you are with the game, you might not know about. The only, I guess, other than that, I don't really have too many issues. The game's very flexible with the builds for the most part. I definitely like the hub city. You had a lot of options there. The Metroidvania stuff kind of tapered off towards the end because it becomes very linear. There's also been some complaints about things like aesthetics and stuff like that, like graphics, but I generally don't care about that. Some of the areas did kind of look a little bland. The boss fights, overall, most of the bosses weren't as interesting as the Dark Souls 1 bosses, but then again, the Dark Souls 1 bosses were pretty out there, and this was kind of something involving a kingdom, so I kind of tolerated the fact that a lot of them were just heavy armored guys. And this game was kind of designed to be more accessible, kind of introduce people to the series, so I think it definitely succeeded in that. I definitely enjoyed this game greatly. I mean, I've played through it twice so far, and I'm playing through it a third time on another character. So, definitely not too shabby. Where's this put me? Ah, puts me back here. So yeah, I got her soul now.
Bearer of the until.
Okay, yeah, you have to do it at this fire. I can begin Journey 2 to Drangleiak. I'm probably not going to do that anytime soon. I'm pretty sure this series has gone long enough for now. At the very least, I need to make sure this series kind of get through a little bit so I can free up some disk space, because I think that's part of the reason why I'm getting so many issues while recording. As far as technical difficulties and stuff, this game I have had no problems with as far as playing it normally. The only time I've ever had any issues is while recording. Well, there is one issue, and that's the fact that it's going through Steam, and sometimes Steam decides to go offline, in which case you can't really get much benefit from it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, speaking of, lost connection. But yeah, also I can go and buy the Hexer set if I want to and all that junk. I could buy all Crichton stuff, Kale stuff. Pretty sad, yeah. So yeah, if you've forgotten, you can actually buy any NPC's armors from Militia.
Lively times these are.
Alright, well, I think this is good. I am the Depressed Dior. This was Tenshi and I. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.